tell us then what you hope she will do, Miss Reeves, in the budget.
Well, I would hope she'd introduce a wealth tax, Jeremy. The case for it is overwhelming. It's logical. It's moral. It's about fairness in our tax system. If you have money and you make money with that money, you pay half the rate of tax as if you have a job. And I think that's fundamentally wrong. What's being proposed is a 2% tax on wealth above 10 million. And there are only 20,000 people in our country that have that. And let's say they have 20 million, not 10. They pay £200,000. It's a drop in the ocean to somebody with 20 million pounds. I think it's every year. It's £24 billion raised every year, and we could use that to fund so many things in our country. You've got to bear in mind, 5 million people live in poverty. 1 million kids tonight don't have a bed to sleep in. This is outrageous. We're the 7th biggest economy in the world. And I heard all the chat about pensions just previously. Not to be disrespectful, I don't mean that. But look, it's another example of where the tax system gifts things to people with money. If you can afford to put 60 grand a year into your pension pot, Jesus, you're well off. Why are you getting a tax break for that? And why are you getting
a tax break? You pay tax on it already, that's why, isn't it?
Well, but you don't. You get a tax break. And then when you take it back out, you get another tax break. All the time, people are living in crushing poverty in our country. And that has the most impact on our economy right now. I understand if people have smaller pensions in the future, that could be a problem. But that's the distant future compared to where we are right now, with a 20 billion black hole, not 30, by the way. But we have to do something about that.
So just do your numbers again. If you got 20 million quid, you would pay 2% on the gap between 10 and 20. So that's 200,000.
Exactly.
And then there are, how many did you say? 20,000 people?
Just 20,000 out of 60 million.
Yeah, and then that raises, forgive me, my maths is not as quick as yours. That raises how much billion, did you say?
24 billion pounds every year.
24 billion pounds every year from the rich. She has talked about, she apparently had a meeting, Dale, with Labour MPs a couple of nights ago where she said, you're going to have to cheer me when I put in the mansion tax. Now, that I don't know whether that's leaked against her or by her or what, so I don't know. But is a mansion tax a way to do it?
Well, I think if you look at council tax banding, it hasn't moved for decades while house prices have. And I think that's a regressive tax. If you look across our tax system, there are so many regressive taxes. For example, your previous caller talked about chip shops and VAT. We have VAT on energy bills, and people this winter are choosing between heating and eating because it's such a difficult thing to afford and a necessity. But if you fly on holiday, there's no VAT. So that's an example of a regressive use of the tax system, in my opinion. And there are many things we could change to make it better for people with less money. And actually, as Rachel Reeves herself said, let the people with the broadest shoulders carry a little bit more of the burden.